Alrighty, I'm going to call to order this meeting for the Planning and Zoning Commission, City of Saginaw, at 6:04 p.m. And we're going to do roll call. Vivian Anderson. Present. Benjamin Guttery, present. Peter Drolet.
Present.
Melinda Julian. Val Visas. John Hardy. Daniela Fernandez. All right, looks like we have enough for a quorum this evening. Now I'm going to 1B, audience participation at 6:04 p.m. again. So if anybody would like to speak on any of the agenda items tonight, you can come up to the speaker and just let us know your name and where you're from.
Unless you're the if you're the applicant.
Correct. Yeah. All right, and now I'm going to, should I keep open audience participation and then just go to the minutes? Or do I close it out? Yeah.
What we'll do is this is just the general open. We'll do an actual public hearing for each one.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not really open
Got
right
it,
now.
yeah.
You can
Just,
move on.
yep, had to let everybody know down in Austin, audience can participate. All right, so now we're going to go to 1C, approval of minutes from the July 8th, 2025 meeting. So if anyone on the commission notes anything different, otherwise, if I could get a motion to either approve or deny whenever y'all have a second.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
All right. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Or we can also vote on our fancy screens now. Forgot we had that. Alrighty, and I believe there was so this last one that we approved, the one from July 8th, there was an issue at the last meeting, so we had to add something to it. So we're also going to be approving the last meeting as well from September 9th, 2025. So
Chair-
again,
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
They're separate items, so we'll do
Correct.
September, the July 8th first?
Yeah, so 1D.
Yep.
Yep, so we just voted on the 1C.
Yes.
And now we're going to do one, yep. Okay, so everyone on the commission, if you could take a look at 1D, the minutes from September 9th. If there's any changes that you see, let city staff know. All right, do I have a motion to accept the minutes? Oh, do you want to say something?
No.
Oh, okay, got it.
Motion to accept the minutes.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, please vote. All righty, and the motion passes. Now, we're going to go to public hearing, section 2A, consideration and action regarding a request to amend a change in the Frontier Settlement Plan Development District, providing development standards and a development plan located at 700 Old Decatur Road, TAD, at 6:08 p.m. So they took away my gavel, so I'm just gonna, there we go. It's opened. I must have knocked it too much at the last meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I do apologize about the gavel. It'll be here next time, but good afternoon, everyone. For this item, we have seen this prior. It was a PD that was adopted originally under a different developer. So now we have a new developer that is wanting to develop this parcel. Some changes are being proposed to the existing PD when it comes to the conceptual development plan. On the memo, you can see some of the major changes, and we also have the developer here, the applicant, to give you a formal presentation. But just a quick synopsis of the changes. Essentially, the layout is being revised to add another access point on Old Decatur Road, and instead of having the emergency access closest to West McElroy, they have a cul-de-sac that ends for that road. Other things that are noticeable are the open space are changing just a little bit, the one that's on Comanche. But apart from that, those are the major changes. And the developer here is here to discuss this a little bit further. This had to come back to the P&Z and City Council because it was considered a major change just because of the second access on Old Decatur Road, because it affects the adjacent property. So that's why it's considered major. But some may argue that some of these things are a little bit more minor. But just for protocol, that's the reason why you're seeing them. But I'm going to present the applicants for Frontier Settlement, and they can come up.
Howdy. If you could just state your name and who you're with, please.
Jason Schwab, Beardhampton and Brown. Is this the little thing for the, okay. Okay, so. Oh, it's the wrong one? Okay. Okay. Essentially, the Frontier Settlement, the use is still the same. It's a residential subdivision. It's the same number of lots. That hasn't changed. The only thing we've added, and that's in correspondence with engineering and the fire department, is we added a secondary connection point just for an additional public access point. They weren't particularly, they didn't like the emergency access gate that we previously had, so we worked with them to get a, yeah, you can see the differences there.
Yeah.
So the minimum lot size is 40 by 110. That's unchanged for the previously approved PD and the proposed revised PD. 56 lots. There's still 2 open space park lots and 2 open space green space lots. That's just grass. It's not really meant for use or anything. The screening is unchanged from the previous PD to this revised PD. The only difference is that we had that 1 public access entry and 1 private emergency only entry. With the new proposed PD, we have 2 entry points on Old Decatur Road. Obviously, that can be used by emergency access as well. There we go. Okay, so, is this, oh, okay. So here's the previously approved PD. That's where we had that emergency access gate. You can see it called out there, the Opticom gate. The proposed revised PD, we removed that gate and we put in a cul-de-sac. That cul-de-sac was designed in, compliance with the subdivision criteria for the turnaround. That's the 80-foot diameter paved turnaround with a 100-foot diameter right-of-way. Public access, we had that 1 southern Old Decatur Road drive there. On this, you can see we added that northern one. The traffic is still coming off of Old Decatur. The cars coming in and coming out are still going on to Old Decatur as per the previous PD. All we're doing is really kind of alleviating that concentration on that singular point. So there should be no change in traffic as what was proposed previously. And that's essentially all. The only 2 changes we have are the entry point and the removal of the emergency access.
So I was on the commission when the last developer came before us, and I remember a couple of the things that we talked about was the open space. And I heard you say the open space, it's kind of just grass, it's not really meant to be used? Or are you talking about down on the cul-de-sac on Comanche?
Yeah,
Or-
so there's 2 park open spaces.
Correct.
Those are unchanged. We still have the 2
Got it.
parks.
So you're still going to do landscaping
Yeah.
and, okay, got
Yes.
it.
The other 2 are mainly just, they're smaller open space, maybe for access to, from the community to
Yeah.
the school or something in the future.
And I actually think it's better that there's going to be 2 entry and access points out of the neighborhood. I think that's just going to improve traffic flow, and it was kind of awkward having it on the back end. The other 2 things that I remember us talking about was I believe that there had to be a variance for trees, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if you know about this, but I know one of the things that we put on this development was that they had to be a certain thickness of tree, and we even asked for them to be variety of species, not, all elms or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what with that. The commission did recommend that. I'm
Okay.
not sure if that made it.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
It would still be within the ordinance. That's just not a change that they're proposing. They're
Okay,
keeping
got it. So
as is.
everything that the commission last time, cool. All right. And then my only other question, before my committee members speak, is you're still calling it Frontier Settlement. One of the
Yes.
things that again, I know you're a different developer, but I'm trying to jog my memory on this one, was that the development was going to have like something in the open spaces kind of about the area and the, frontier settling the plains and, that kind of thing. Is that still part of the story of the development? Have you seen like in the Belt Mill development here in town, there's like little stations by the benches that say, history of Saginaw, that kind of thing? Or is it just frontier development? That's the name of it. Like, no? Okay.
Okay.
Well, we're a small community, and I personally liked hearing that aspect of it. So if, I know it's not anything we can like make y'all do, but I thought it was cool, so. All right, anyone else have anything to ask?
Wondering what the distance is between the 2 openings. Is there a minimum distance between 2 streets entering?
There is, we meet all design criteria for the roadway spacing, so.
What is that distance?
I don't know the distance off the top of my head. I believe it's like 200 feet or something like
Yeah,
that.
if it's 40 by 120, and then there's there's 5 homes, well, the 2 outer, that's the minimum is 40 by 20, because these outer 2 lots look like they're a little bit wider.
They
So
are, they're
120,
just,
yeah.
yeah.
60. It's probably 250 feet, I would assume, from the closest point, because the middle 3 lots appear to be about 40 width, and then the outer 2 lots 1 and 5, I believe, appear to be about 55, 60 width, from what I'm seeing on this picture.
Mr. Chairman, with the widths of the parcels, I will note that some of the parcels or the houses don't have that 40 lot width.
Yes.
So if y'all are okay with that, I would also just make a motion or just saying that y'all are okay with some of them being outliers as long as the majority of them are within that.
Correct.
And we can be flexible,
Yeah.
but I just want that to be on the record for y'all.
And can I ask, because from what I read, I kind of looked over this, that's the minimum. So,
minimum, yes.
right, so some of them can be 50, 55,
Yes.
60.
I believe when we were looking at them, some were a little bit under that 40.
Okay.
But it was just because they reconfigured some of the lots.
The alignment.
I believe
have
the
that access point.
The 40 feet was measured at the building line of
Okay.
the lot, so those
Yeah.
should all be 40 feet.
Okay. So do I need to make a motion that the
Yeah.
developer's saying that the minimum is 40?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to bring that up just
Okay.
because when one of our inspectors was looking at it,
Yeah.
they believed that they had measured it a little bit different. But
Okay.
again, they do have some leeway when it comes to that. I just wanted to let y'all know. But of course, when they come to a formal site plan for the civils, we'll take a look at that, but just wanted to let them know.
Okay.
And then the only other thing, as previously mentioned, one of those park spaces seems like it's decreasing in size. As the current ordinance reads, it does say 2 primary common areas, including full landscaping with open air pavilion, picnic tables, grills, trash cans, and gang/cluster mailboxes. I just wanted to ask the applicant if that was going to be sufficient space to at least have some picnic tables or any of those smaller amenities. If not, we would need to reword that so that that one narrow parkland doesn't have to have something. Or if y'all still are having a parkway or a trail, that may be considered something. But I just wanted to.
Yeah, there's, I mean, you can't quite
It
make it out, but there's a little
appears there's a
trail in
winding.
there. Yeah, so there's room for that, and landscaping, trees, all that, so.
Okay, just wanted to confirm because right now would be the time if we needed to change that.
Yeah.
And I also just wanted to let y'all know that staff is in, the chief, Fire Spears, and the fire marshal. They actually did recommend having that second entrance and closing out the emergency gate for security purposes. And so they did want me to put that on the record.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think my personal concern in just being a homeowner and resident here is that the masonry is as top notch as you can make it. The surrounding, the entryway, the masonry walls, and the landscaping. Because that's going to add to the long-term value and help y'all sell the lots faster and all those kind of fun things. So, yeah. Anything else? Any other questions on it? And, oh, you know what? I do have one other question. So y'all are only the developer for the residential aspect,
Yes.
not the commercial
No.
aspect. Got it. Because there is a commercial lot on the corner. Okay.
Yeah.
So, if,
Chair, before we vote,
Yes.
can we, I think you may have
mhm,
sort of opened the public hearing at the beginning. Let's reopen the public hearing with a
official.
time, and then
got it.
check, and then close with a
Okay.
time.
All right, I'm going to open up, thank you, sir. I think we're good, yep. Okay. All right, I'm going to open up this item 2A for a public hearing at 6:21 PM. And does anyone from the community want to speak on that, or staff, did we receive any letters about this?
Mr. Chairman, we did not have to notice it out letters-wise. It was
Okay.
only through newspaper.
Great. All right, well, then I'm going to close out the public meeting at 6:22 PM. Okay. On 2A, do I have a motion?
I make the motion, yes.
What do you make the motion to do?
Would you like some guidance on the motion?
Yeah.
So what the motion would be motion to approve the request motion to recommend approval to the request to, and then you can just read the rest of that clause on 2A.
Motion to approve the action regarding the request to amend change to the favored land district.
No, no,
District
2A.
2A.
Yeah. And you,
Sorry, I'm on 2B. Yeah.
They're similar.
To make the motion to amend the change in the Frontier Settlement Plan Development District,
That's fine.
2A.
you have to finish the whole thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, no, sorry.
Providing development standards and development plan located at 700 Old Decatur Road,
All right,
TAD.
perfect. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, and all in favor, vote. All right, and it looks like the motion passes. All righty, and then now we are going to 2B, consideration and action regarding a request to amend a change in the Saginaw Local Favorite Plan Development District, providing development standards in a development plan located at 400 South Saginaw Boulevard and 405 South Belmont Street, TAD. Proposed change for a new developmental concept plan.
Mr. Chairman, for this item, this is the old fire station for the city. This is a city rezoning, but we do have the applicant here of the people who are trying to develop a project. Just in general, we are majorly changing just the development plan just because it was with a previous developer as well. So same kind of scenario. It is a pretty basic development plan just in regards to we're proposing the restaurants and just having the general outline of where they're going to be. And then they're going to be submitting a formal site plan with the city. So that'll come at a later date and it would be reviewed by staff. Apart from that, the previous ordinance had just requested sit-down restaurants with or without alcohol sales and sit-down restaurants with live music. This is the separate attachment that I had left on your desk. This was made after the packet was issued. So these changes include making the standards for permitted uses primary and secondary. We're recommending that we define primary uses and add a percentage of the development to be a primary usage. So that would be the sit-down restaurants. So City Council and the Saginaw community really wants more sit-down restaurants, and so we're trying to keep that. But at the same time, we understand that that middle component, which is currently proposed to be a meat market, may have some changes in the future. And so speaking with the developer, they're requesting a couple of other permitted usages, such as coffee shops and cafes, specialty food shops, microbrewery, winery, distilleries, or a bakery/commercial kitchen incubator. I kind of went in and defined them a little bit more with the assistance of the developer. So it would essentially still be a food-related accessory use that could stand on its own. But of course, we do have the developer here to expand a little bit more about what their vision is. But if y'all have any questions for me, please let me know. Oh, and additionally, we'll be changing the name to Mad Concepts. Yes.
Correct, because that's the new,
Yes.
correct. Got it. All right.
And I'm sorry, I did forget. One of the other major components is that they're proposing a drive-through for Jake's Burgers. And so previously, drive-throughs were not allowed. So the language we're wanting to add is that they could be permissible as long as they have a full-service dining area with waitstaff service, or they provide customer service as a fast casual restaurant. So it would be more so like a Muya, a Panera Bread, but then that way it restricts to not having fast food services there.
Staff, I heard you say the word meat market earlier.
Yes.
That's the first that I've heard of
Yes.
the word meat market regarding
So the
this
current
area.
plan is to have a split rail, and then
That's a steakhouse.
yes, that's a steakhouse.
Correct.
And then in the middle, it would be a meat market. So they'd be
Yeah.
selling the meat
Like
from-
B&B Butchers at Clear Fork. Okay,
Yes,
got it.
Yes.
Okay, now I understand. I was like, thought we were getting a steakhouse.
Yes,
All right.
and another thing is just because the previous conceptual development plan had that courtyard plaza,
Mm-hmm.
we're also removing that, but requiring outside seating.
Okay.
So with that, I am going to present our applicant today, and he will be presenting their project and going into the scope of the project a little bit more.
Howdy, if you could say
How's it
your
going?
name and who you're with, please.
Cameron Hayes with Mad Concepts Group. I also have Courtney Lindley, who's the president of Mad Concepts, and he can answer questions or provide more detail.
Great.
Thank you guys for the time tonight. I believe you're mostly familiar with the project as we've presented to the city, but I'll give you a quick rundown. So Mad Concepts Group is a local hospitality group here in Dallas, operating in the teens of restaurants, as well as partnering with other concepts to provide them strategic support. Kind of our goals and our missions, just to let you know who you're getting in bed with, is we're family-owned, local, very focused on being in the community. And with all of our concepts, we really make sure that we're family-friendly, and you can come there regardless of age, regardless of demographic, and really have a social gathering place. For the brands that we will be bringing to this development is Jake's Burgers, which has been around for about 40 years now. Split Rail Texas Grill, it's our little twist on a steakhouse. And then our meat market or butcher shop, specialty grocer, kind of a wide range there. But give you a little bit of background, Jake's is, like I said, been here for 40 years. We have about 12 locations currently, with 4 more under development. So we'll be at the 15, 16 range by the time we get opened here in Saginaw. Very wide menu, focused on burgers, but really a good gathering spot for all ages. Next is Split Rail, which is, like I said, a Texas grill, focusing on the premium cuts of all sorts of meats and with family-style sides for the whole table, as well as a salad bar, unique cocktail offerings, just really an elevated experience is our goal, but we want to make sure that it's approachable and affordable. So one of our phrases we like to use is you can trade up or trade down depending on your income, and we want to make sure that everybody feels welcome and they can get a good meal for an affordable price. Finally, like we discussed kind of in the middle portion, which you'll see later in this site plan, this is our meat market. It's kind of a blend of a butcher shop and a specialty grocer is the way we like to describe it. So whether you want to pick up a steak to grill at home or, fresh made sausage, we'll also have fresh rotisserie chickens. We'll have prepackaged meals that you can be ready to take home. And we'll also have some seating inside in case you want that prepared there. Here is the general site plan. It matches where the current buildings are today. And that would be on the left portion, or the north is where the firehouse is. That will be Split Rail. In the middle is the meat market, and on the right end is the Jake's with a drive-through that'll come from the back side here, or the bottom side. Here's some proposed elevations of kind of our early conceptual plan. I know we will be formally turning this into the city to get approved, but I just want to give you guys an idea. For both pictures, the top is what it will be, and the bottom is what it looks like currently. So adding storefronts, glasses, signage. You can see kind of the garage doors out there. We really want to make sure that we keep the character of the building while also enhancing it and providing a fresh feel for the city. And then these are some different angles. The top, again, the top pictures are the proposed, the bottom's the current, and then the 2 pictures on the very bottom, those are just kind of a closer view.
Really
of what
quickly,
it'll look like.
could you go back to the last image?
Sure.
Sorry. So the front of the building will be the current back of the building, correct?
Correct.
Got it. So the current front, like where the fire trucks used to roll out of, and like where we used to go pay our water bills and stuff, that's fronting 287 business, that will be the new back of the building.
Correct, yes. So
Got
that's
it.
the bottom picture.
Yep.
And that's, I guess, the east side. And then the west side, where the parking lot currently is, that will be the main entrance. We'll
Perfect.
definitely be enhancing with landscaping. And the main entrance for Split Rail will be on the west side, the back side, but there will be teaser parking as well as access on the front side for Jake's and the meat market.
Okay.
Like I said,
Thank you.
Yep. I just said the other views. And then the reason we're making the zoning request, obviously, is new developer, new uses. And we also want to make sure that we get the drive-through lane, as previously discussed. This will really help us enhance the aesthetic appeal across the whole site, from landscaping, finishes. Also help us improve the kind of drainage issues that the site has previously had. We'll be able to address a lot of that. And then finally, as discussed, for viable future uses, which is kind of the addition of our secondary permitted uses. Our goal.
Because there's additional land there's a lot of additional
Yeah,
land.
I would say that's a plan
For the
B
correct.
approach, not to build more, but of course, life happens, and you never know in 10 years if sales go down, whatever. We just want to make sure that we can have future viable uses for this project that doesn't kind of pigeonhole us or limit us, which could be a bad situation for the city and for us. So our goal is to, as the exhibit shows, is to really focus on those primary uses, but kind of as a protection on the backside, we added these secondary uses just in case things don't go as planned.
Okay.
And that is it.
So the current, obviously the previous plan was kind of splitting the current building down the middle and having some sort of courtyard area with like a stage in the back part facing Belmont Street. It partially went over, I guess it would be the north end of the log cabin, the senior citizen
Right.
building. So we're changing that. So
Correct.
I'm glad that the building is, so the building's is staying put. Y'all are just renovating it.
Correct.
Got it.
Yep.
The former senior center, the log cabin, is that being raised?
That will be eliminated.
Okay.
That'll go away.
Got it. And the former Veterans Park that is on facing Southern Avenue, is that just going to be, I understand that part of the drive-through lane is going to be that northern edge of the Veterans Park coming against
Yep.
where Jake's is going to be, but what is going to happen to the rest of that lot?
Our goal is to maintain the veterans lot and enhance it. Right now, it's kind of, we can't solidify and say it will be X or Y, just when it comes from a parking perspective.
Yeah.
But our goal is to really build that area up and make it sort of a quasi-yard area for Jake's patrons. And then we are also just today discussing, having community events there, say a little farmer's market or having a concert or something. But our goal is to kind of maintain the integrity of that space and make sure it fosters a sense of community gathering.
For sure, yep. And if you could just introduce yourself for the folks down on the transcript, yeah.
Absolutely. Courtney Lindley, president of Mad Concepts.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think the intent of the park for the city and for us is how do we activate the park appropriately? We're talking about things like, hey, we'd love to have a Christmas tree and create something. Hey, people drop off gifts there certain times of the year. How do we have a farmer's market that allow local vendors to come out there and be there? It wouldn't be something we're trying to activate all the time, but it absolutely would be something that for us, it's good for the partnership with the city, and if there are things that the city wants or needs, we want to be a good partner. So, and it's great for us to activate that also. So it would be a cleanup for us in that park, make it look better than it is right now, give it some attention, but activate it appropriately.
Well, I can tell you, I'm a veteran myself, and I've lived here for a long time. I've never gone to that park because it's not a peaceful, reflective place, being against 287 and screeching trains and stuff sometimes. So my main concern is having, there's a lot of nice trees on that whole property. I very much want them to stay, the ones that can stay. I'm pro-development, I understand.
We're pro-tree, pro-development.
Got it.
For
Because it
us,
takes a long time
landscaping.
for trees to grow.
Just so you know, we are a add to trees. Like I'm with you. I don't cut down any tree that we don't have to. If there's and when we come in, you were talking earlier about the size of caliper tree. Look, it matters to us too. And the reality is, look, in order to create the aesthetics, you can see even in our design of the building, we're trying to create things that aesthetically are pleasing, but also create a environment that people want to come and hang out. And for us, being an oasis in that area, that's the reason why we're 100% on board with, we don't want it to be a fast food location either, but we absolutely want to be something where servicing the community appropriately with that. So we've got the higher end, obviously our larger Texas Grill, that is a higher end product overall, and then all of a sudden having the Jake's that is more I would tell you, a lunch slash
Fast
dinner,
casual,
fast
yeah,
casual
yeah.
business, it allows us to mix those two together. And the meat market for us, the specialty grocer, the reason why that's so important is, look, it allows us to get that customer with all the traffic on the highway out front. It allows us to serve a product that us having rotisserie chickens, look, I don't want you to have to go to Walmart to buy a chicken that's full of hormones. I want you to be able to get a different, higher quality product that doesn't cost more, and you come into our meat market, right? For us, generating that traffic through the shopping center is only going to allow us to build that relationship with the community that brings people to our site as often as possible, right? So that is truly the intent behind it. The other thing is the partners that we have with the meat market in order to have the pricing that we do. That's how we're creating this meat market. So we've got a place and a product that we're proud to sell that allows people to come in this area. It's very different than the meat market that's up the road. It's a different
Correct.
product.
I just wanted to understand, I was trying to kind of put my mind on what it meant, and yeah.
Yeah,
So,
this
but
is-
it's a restaurant, and then there's a separate entry. If you really enjoyed that T-bone, you can bring home a couple.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it would be
Or a fancy
prepackaged-
mustard
it'd be
or-
prepackaged things. I mean, we
Yeah.
may have things that, kolaches in the morning or something that if somebody wanted to stop and get something, some coffee and create that experience, we would love that. Part of the things that we've thought are really neat is the gel cells in the back, creating something where that's some seating. We want to do things that take the building, and part of the reason why the original development didn't work is because the cost to build new construction right now is out of control. We obviously went down that route early, and it turned into a scenario where we said, okay, how do we reuse this building, but do it in a way that makes sense for everybody? So because of the higher ceilings, we were able to put all the plumbing and understand how we're going to do that and not generate or create the water flow issues that are currently there that the fire station has had before, because there's so much water that doesn't get moved through the area. So these are all things that we've spent the last, 4 months, 5 months working on hard to make sure that we sit here today with something that you're going to be proud of, we're going to be proud of, and you're going to sit there and go, gosh, they were thoughtful about how we were partners in the community.
Yeah.
Can I ask, when you were talking about, you're in Saginaw where they've done a lot of things for flowing water and flowing rain and stuff like, what is your approach going to be for there? What are you planning to do for that?
So that area, you can't really change the flow, because the land is so flat, right?
Right.
At some point, you all will have, from a city perspective, will have to change the way the water is flowing. What we're trying to do more than anything is create a scenario where the water's not coming into the building and not creating more downflow water. So the way we're doing that is through raising our existing floor and
Okay.
base. We're also, that's more than anything what we're trying to do, and it doesn't, that way it's not pushing water onto the adjacent, like obviously the daycare or anything like that, we can't impact those businesses. So that's more of what we're trying to create, and by doing that, it's actually alleviating some of the problem for this, especially this project.
And you said you had a meat partner?
Yes,
is
Waco
that?
Custom Meats is
Okay.
who we partner with. It's a family-owned business, it's not some big
Yeah.
organization.
And I saw I know it's conceptual, and I know this probably isn't part of approving this development, but it said SR Meat Market so the meat market.
Split rail meat
Right,
market
so
is-
it's gonna be affiliated with for now, it's gonna be affiliated with the steakhouse.
Correct, but we didn't want, so it's going to have its own name.
Correct, yeah.
I wanted to make sure that it is its own CO, and that's part of the reason why when we asked for
Asking for this
existing
variance, yeah.
uses, what I didn't want to do is create a scenario that if something happened to the meat market, or there's a challenge with the way we do it, it doesn't put us in a scenario where we're in violation or can't backfill a space.
And you can't
since
turn
we're-
it into
since
a
we're
gelato spot or
100%.
something. I understand.
That's all we're trying to do.
Okay. I have so many questions and statements, but I don't think that they're a part of what my chairmanship can do on this council, but we are all very excited to have sit-down restaurants. And I don't know what studies y'all have done, but I can tell you we should be first in line because I've read all the press releases of y'all's other friends in Tarrant County. We should be first. I went to Richland. I grew up over there. It's cool, but we should get ours first. And, you know, I know y'all are from Addison and Dallas, but go check out some of the new restaurants around here that have
I
opened
grew
up.
up in White Settlement. So
For sure.
I went
But
to All Saints all the way
They
through.
opened up a Texas Roadhouse a couple miles up the road. It is hour-long wait for a two-top on weeknights. Like, it's, everybody's so busy around here, so please come to Saginaw fast.
We are very excited. Our kitchen design, everything's already being worked on, and our menu's almost finalized. So that way, that's part of the reason why we're trying to move quickly through this so we can get going.
Yeah.
And again, with the secondary, what we're speaking about, the secondary permitted use is in the event that something doesn't happen 3 years from now, you'll have these to back you up with.
Correct. But I just want to make sure that on this, the drive-through is part of the primary with Jake's. But yes, the
Yeah.
secondary use is more about
Yeah.
just the future, not about anything else that we're opening to start.
And are my council colleagues, are y'all familiar with Jake's?
No.
It's, what?
They have one in Fort Worth.
Yeah,
They're all
it's similar
now,
to,
everywhere now.
it's similar to Chili's. So they have waiters, they have a full menu, or Cotton Patch or something along those lines. And now, I mean, we take home food from restaurants all the time. It's just easier to order it and, you know, give me the bag kind of thing. So it's not like a Jack in the Box drive-through. It's more of like,
Understood.
yeah, like they order and then they come through kind of thing. Like at the Chipotle here in town, you can't even order through the drive-through. You have to do it online or over the phone, and then you come pick it up kind of thing.
We're cooking to order, so we're not cooking anything ahead of time, ever.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, so,
We still need to open and close. for public.
yes, okay. So I am going to open a public hearing at 6:45 PM. Do we have any letters on this from anyone or anyone want to speak?
Mr. Chairman, because this is a textual amendment, we did not have to send out letter notices, but, so no.
Okay,
None of that.
got it. All right. And then I feel like this might be a long one. So
Hold on,
I just want to verbally go through this. So,
hold on, let's close the hearing.
oh yeah, okay, I'm going to close the public hearing at 6:46 PM. All righty. So to be clear with city staff, so we are asking, the primary uses are already on there. That's a sit-down restaurant with or without alcohol sales and a sit-down restaurant with live music. All the red is needing to be looked at changing, and then this percentage,
Yes.
yeah,
Mr. Chairman, so the first thing we would need to note on the site plan, actually, yes. Currently, within the ordinance in your packet, you only see the two proposed restaurants on both ends.
Correct.
So we would need to add proposed meat market on the middle section. So
Okay.
that's just a minor change, right, on that one. And then, yes, sir, you are correct in the sense that everything that is the red font is the red line of what they're proposing. Everything that's scratched out indicates things that they initially proposed, but we went back to the drawing board and we decided only food-oriented uses. And so with that, we are left with the coffee shop / cafe, the specialty food shops, which would include that gourmet market so that they could have that meat market as well, the microbrewery, winery, distillery, and then lastly, the bakery / commercial kitchen incubator. And we did have discussions with the applicant, because this was modified a little bit later, that we would go back and go with our legal representatives, of course, and modify that so that we're both protected when it comes to the definitions of both. But as presented, I think we're both in agreement of how it appears currently. But if you have any questions in regards to any of those definitions, and then just to add, the primary use, we are recommending to have a certain percentage of the development. Y'all are able to decide that, or you can say 2 out of the 3 restaurants, or you can indicate the middle portion. It's definitely up to y'all in how y'all want to identify that. I just went ahead and put a percentage just in case, but I wouldn't know the percentage
Yeah.
right off the top of my head if it's.
So, I worked in jewelry, so I'm pretty good at percentages. So I'm gonna say that looks like about 65, 70% primary usage, where the 2 outside proposed restaurants are about of the current building space that's on there, is because I think the market is the main one that is in flux. I believe so, from what we heard. So that would be the middle part, about 30% of the building, 35% maybe if we're friendly, could use these secondary permitted uses, if I'm not mistaken, if I understood right, sorry.
Yes, and we can always go back and get the exact square footage for the proposed market currently.
Right.
If y'all want to just make a generic
Yeah,
motion.
well, the
when it
thing
comes
says
to that.
percentage, so we should put a percentage on
Yes.
it and not, yeah.
So we could do it based off that square footage, if y'all want to just do a majority or more than X percent.
What
Or if
do
y'all want us to
yeah.
go back and get that specific, whatever y'all feel comfortable with. And then council can finalize it. It's up to y'all in regards to the preference.
I'm of the mindset of getting this recommendation to council so that we can move forward as a city. And the council can always decide if we say 60% primary use or 70% primary use, they can decide to override us and say,
Yes.
no, 55% or whatever it is. So, yeah. But I do want to hear y'all's input on, remember, we're being asked 2 things: to put a percentage on what has the primary usage, which the 2 is A and B, sit-down restaurant with or without alcohol sales, sit-down with live music. That's the primary usage of this plan. So how much of it should be primary?
I'm of the thought of the 70 to 75% of it, you want the majority of it to be that.
Yeah.
The proposed market, it's just not going to be the same. I just
Yeah.
don't think it would be the same
Yeah,
scope.
I agree. I think 70 is generous, but then looking at that, but yeah. And again, council, if they're in their wisdom, can
about
decide
35.
if, yeah.
For the meat market? Okay. Did you want to come to the podium?
Yeah.
Cameron from Mad Concepts again. The current square footage where it sits, I would put it in the 30 to 35% range.
Of the meat market.
The meat market is,
Okay.
correct? So I would prefer a 65 to 70, not the 70 to 75, just
Okay.
from our perspective.
And I'm also, because you're also going to have like a slight sit-down area and like an entry area, like a patio in front of the
Exactly.
market and that kind of stuff
Correct.
too. Got it.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So if we want to, remember, P&Z makes recommendations to council, and then council takes our recommendations and either is like, perfect, we're going to go with that, or in their infinite wisdom, they decide to override us and tweak things. So, yeah.
I'm okay with that, 60%,
Okay, yeah. All right, so
40.
Okay, so Susie, I think we have the percentage part down. So then the next part, I'm personally okay with cafes and coffee shops. Do we need to go through these one by one?
So-
Or, because it was recommended to us, it's just, is this okay?
Well, it's up to y'all how you want to handle it. You can just make a motion that says you recommend approval of changes as listed in Exhibit B
Got it.
of the zoning, or the Exhibit B zoning exhibit of the land use development standards that was supplied to you by staff.
Mm-hmm.
And we would just take these red lines to council.
Okay.
And then you can also say additional, and then, and the percentage. So
Yep,
we move to recommend the changes as listed in Exhibit B and to set the primary use percentage at 65% and the secondary use percentage at 35.
yeah. Okay, so, and I'm chairman, so I can't make the motion.
Correct.
Okay, all right. So Do I have a motion?
Yeah, if I,
You wanted to say so moved?
so moved.
There we go.
Second that.
All right, do I have a second?
I will second that.
All right, all in favor, we're going to vote.
And that was 65-35?
So
Yes,
ch-
I moved
it-
for 65.
it was 65-35, correct. That's what
Or
you,
you moved.
yeah.
And the secondary uses are automatic with that, or?
The secondary uses that are, the ones that are not crossed out are automatic with that, but there's also prohibited uses too, if you see. And again, council, this is still going to council, so council can put different things on it, yeah. Do we have our votes tabulated? Yeah?
Yes,
Sorry.
it was on the screen. Sorry, it was really
Oh,
quick.
I was waiting on my screen.
But they were all
All
in
right,
favor.
got it. All right, so welcome to Saginaw. 2B passes. All right, now we are going to go to 3A, business, presentation for planning and zoning training.
Mr. Chairman, we unfortunately don't have a full house on our commission today. I believe only one of our members are new, so it would be our recommendation to move this to the next meeting, and hopefully we can have a few new members attend, and that way we can be as effective as possible, but I will leave that up to y'all.
Yeah,
When is the next meeting slated?
it depends on if we have applicants, correct?
Yes, so we always have it scheduled for the second Tuesday of the month, so it should land on November 11th. And then, like the chairman said, we will let y'all know if we do have any items. But if y'all wanted to meet just to train, we can always do that as well.
November 11th is Veterans Day.
I'll wear my hat.
I don't know if the city is actually closed that day.
I know, that's why I brought up, not just because I'm a veteran, because I was like,
Yeah.
are y'all closed?
It's a post office holiday, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. If we hear that we don't have enough quorum, or if y'all wanted to try to change
No, I
that,
just thought maybe the
we
city be
can.
closed. Okay.
Yes, I think we would need to make a formal, I mean. Yes, so,
Okay.
I would like, very, very, very briefly, for our new members, I just want to say, just very generally, I just want to make clear, I think y'all have learned this by coming to these meetings, but I think a lot of people get confused with P and Z because I don't force y'all in your vote to say, we recommend that, or I move to recommend that. I just let y'all, I do this in all my cities, I just let y'all say, we approve. What's actually happening with a P and Z commission or with any of your commissions, a recommendation is being sent to the council, and then the council can do whatever they want with it. If you recommend denial, it still goes to the council, but they need to have a supermajority vote to kind of step over what your recommendation is. So if you vote for approval, they just have to have a normal majority. If you vote to deny, they have to have a supermajority. That's the main thing. So we always let you say, move to approve. The technical language would be move to recommend approval.
Yeah.
But it's not a big deal, and I don't think it has to
Yeah.
be corrected. The other thing, just while we're here, I just wanted to remind y'all, I think you know this, because y'all are public servants or public officers while you're working with us, make sure that you're not meeting in quorums to discuss city business. So don't meet in 3 or more to discuss anything that's on these agendas or having to do with zoning. Obviously, you can still be friends with each other, but don't discuss city business in
And
groups of 3 or more.
just so everyone is clear what that means, because I had to ask this in training, if Peter and I were in the same aisle at Albertsons talking and a third P&Z member rolled up in their cart and started talking to us, that's a quorum.
Yes.
So, and we cannot speak about any of these items, future or past,
Correct.
outside of these meetings with a quorum.
Right. So the definition is you can't deliberate on items, but then deliberate isn't defined. So we just say, don't talk about it at all. That also includes, don't reply all to emails. Don't text message each other. If you need to communicate with other members of the commission, email Susie or email any of your other staff members and let them be the go-between.
At the bottom of the email that was sent, because
We probably said, do not reply all or something.
well, I understand that, but it also says, do you plan to attend or not? I
That's,
almost didn't want to hit that because that looked like that was going to do a reply all.
Mr. Chairman, you can just select reply, and it'll just go back to our individual email. But next to that, there's a button that says reply all. If you hit that one, it'll do everybody. But lately, what we've been trying to do, we'll BCC you, which is blind carbon copy. So when you reply all, it won't have any of the other members as long as we do the BCC. So you should be fine.
But do you understand what I'm asking? At the bottom of the email, there's two buttons that, can I use those? I will attend or I will not attend without having an issue.
That's what the button looks like. There's like a link to a roll call app or something?
Yes. If it's
It
a
says-
calendar
it's-
invite,
It says at the bottom, I plan to attend is that okay for me to use that?
yes, we can take a
Because
look.
you've sent out more, and I'm very
oh,
adept-
okay,
It's
so,
the Outlook?
Yeah, if it's a calendar invite, then as long as you just select that, yes or no, it'll just pop up for us. Other people will be able to see, but it's not a reply. It's
So-
not a
I
reply.
don't
Yeah.
think this is, I wish you'd look at the email that was
No, no.
just sent,
Yes.
because
I'm looking at it right now, and I
I don't
think
think that's a calendar.
no, you're right, Peter. That's not a calendar invite. What that is, that's a prompt to begin a reply email. So if you pressed "I plan to attend," it would open up an email to, I don't know, but you, yeah, but you still would have
Done
to,
it for
you,
a long time.
yeah,
Mr.
you
Chairman.
still would have to press send after you pressed one of those. Yeah,
We can take a look at that after the meeting as well.
I just wish we would standardize on one type.
Yeah, and honestly, that's the most common thing we see is people replying all, unless you're getting turned into the DA for that. Like, that's not a concerning thing for the DA. When we have seen people get in trouble with the DA, it has to do with actual items that are being discussed, or when members are discussing, the big one that came out of Southlake was Southlake ISD, members discussing a different member. And they were having personnel issues with that member, and they were discussing, oh, what are we going to do about this? And that was a quorum issue. The other thing is don't survey each other. So don't let place one ask place two, ask place three, ask place four. Don't daisy chain communications. It's called a walking quorum. Counts. I'm not going to keep going because I want to let y'all get out of here. The only thing I'll say is if an item ever comes up and you or your brother-in-law or your daughter's husband or someone owns the property or owns the business next to the property or owns an interest in the property, let us know as soon as you figure.
or a competing property, like
Yes.
we've had that happen where, yeah.
Let us know as soon as you figure it out.
Okay.
We have to take steps.
Cool. So we do eventually need to do this training with all of our people, but since we only have one new one tonight, we are going to table 3A until a future meeting. Is that correct? Or I need to make a motion to table 3A?
We
No?
would not need to make
We
a
don't even
formal
need to
motion.
table
All right,
it.
great.
Technically,
All
to
right.
table it, you have to have a time and date.
Oh, okay. All right, perfect. So now I'm going to move to 4A, staff report, project updates.
Great, so good evening, everyone. We received our updates from our utility inspector. Last month, Blue Mountain Industrial Boulevard project update is as of right now the same. This is a Fort Worth project, so we are only attending those meetings to keep an eye, I guess, on everything that will be done at that intersection, but at this point, there's not a set start date. The Bailey Boswell Professional Center is continuing construction as scheduled, with sanitary sewer and other public improvements being near completion. Falcon Distribution continuing with the structure of the building and public improvements. Holloway Company expansion, that's one of our recent additions to this project list, that is near our Public Works facility on the industrial side of the city. They're expanding upon the existing structure that they have in that corner. For Knowles, through the driveway, we're continuing to finish the installation of trees, irrigation, and other finishing details. And for the roundabout, we're still pending completion of public improvements, paving, ADA ramps, and grading of parkways. So we still do not have a set date for completion for that roundabout. And taking us to one of our new additions to this project list as well is Saginaw Retail, or Shops at the Square. This is located north of Saginaw Boulevard, where the Walmart Shopping Center is. So north of that, we held a pre-construction meeting early this month, and they're working to get everything in order to provide us a start date and get everything going.
And can I ask which side of Saginaw Square? Because there is a side that fronts Old Decatur that is a strip center.
It would be,
And then there's another side of it that's fronting 287 Main.
Correct.
Got it.
it would be
The main side?
287.
Okay, great.
So one exciting addition to that.
Definitely.
Opal, Joe Jennings, and Brian Park improvements, there has been delays. So we do not have a set end date for those projects. They're continuing to finish playground structures and irrigation, perimeter fencing, and detailing for both parks. That's generally what we have going on around the city per our utility inspector. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us as well.
Cool. All right. Anyone have any questions for city staff? All righty. And then I guess that brings us to everyone's favorite part, adjournment. So we are at 7:05 PM. I can't make a motion to adjourn, right? Okay. All right. 7:05 PM. Make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye. Or vote. Got it. All righty. Thanks, everybody.